Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about dual rates and expos. And hopefully with this little contraption over here, I'll be able to show you guys exactly what each setting is doing. We're going to do a couple tests today, and if you guys have any questions, by all means feel free to post up and let me know. So we're going to go ahead and crank this on since we do have a charger in here. Hopefully it'll keep it up. Now what I have is I just have a model called RC Help, and I'm going to use this as sort of my test model that we can use on various different videos. The battery we're going to be using is the battery for the Goblin. There you go. I've got it plugged in to an ESC for an Align 500, and the servo we're using is the DS520. Now the pot on the DS520, I have not cleaned this one yet. So it's not, especially down here, it doesn't want to come all the way down to this mark, and it's weird. I have it set up on my rudder stick. You can see it goes exactly to that one on the top, but if I come down here, it doesn't always go. But if I pull the throttle up, sometimes it'll go. But anyway, all right, so we got center. Everything in here is stock except for sub trim, and that was only to line it up to where it's coming straight out of the servo. So 100% dual rate, no expo. This right here is exactly what we have. You just saw me move the throttle stick up and down, and it kind of moved a little bit more. All right, dual rates. We'll just start with the easiest one, and that's dual rates. So let's go down here, go over to rudder. We'll come down here, and as you can see, 100%, 100%. All right, let's say we're flying a 3D aircraft. We want a low rate where we take off and land. So we're going to go down to 50%, but we're only going to do it on this right side. Click it. So right there is 50%. We still have full throws this way, but we only have 50% that way. If you move your stick while you're selecting them, it'll only do the one side that you're on. If you let go of the stick, you can do both of them. So let's say on the left, we want to bring that up. And I'll just bring it all the way up to 125%, which is the max for my radio. So it goes way beyond, but it only goes 50% going right. So that is how simple dual rates are. The way I use dual rates is I'll have 3 different rates set up on this switch right here. And what I'll do is up is going to be your high rates, then your mid rates, and down is going to be your low rates. That's just an easy way to remember. And a lot of people want to set it up to where everything up and everything back is the way they take off and land. For me, I would rather have high and low. Just easier way to remember. If you guys want to do it a different way, by all means, do it a different way. So what we'll do is we'll set up a high rate. Let me put that back right there. Let's set up a high rate on this switch. So we'll just come down here to the switch, click it, and move the switch that we want. All right, fantastic. So now we're on high rates. We want to keep that at 100%, both sides. You know what? Let's go ahead and take that up to 125%. So now, as you can see, we're going past that one there. We're going past that one there. Our center is still kind of centered. Like I said, the pot on this thing, it's a little dirty. And let's switch down into the next one. That one's showing 125 and 50. So I want this one to be, let's say 85. So there's 85. I need to bring this one down to 85. All right, so there's our 85% dual rate. And if I click up, it goes to 125. All right, now let's take our low rates and let's put those at 40%. Why not? Actually, you got to click it for it to work. All right, there's 40%, and that's how much throw we have. So now our 3 different rates are there, there, and there. That's what dual rate is. It's really, really simple. A lot of people are trying to overcomplicate it. It's literally this simple. So low rate, medium rate, and high rate. It's just how far your servo is going to move from center. There's my medium rate, and then here's my low rate. And again, this number here and this number here was with this on 100% dual rate. Our high rates are 125% on this particular setting, just for demonstration purposes for those that are just now coming in. So high rates, perfect for 3D flying. You're wanting to lay some smack, you're wanting to do some quick snap rolls or TikToks or whatever you're happen to be flying at the time. Medium rates are kind of an all-around, maybe I don't know, you just do sport flying, you do some flips, and every now and then you want to grab the stick and you want to hit it, real quick, and you want it to snap all over relatively fast. That's where medium rates can come in. That's not as aggressive as high rate. And then your low rates is more for like landing and taking off. It's just way, way easier. What you guys may or may not be able to see is right down here is we have -19 and -23. If I go this way, it'll be a positive number. The first number is going to be your stick throw, which in this case only goes to 99% because I haven't completely worn out my gimbals yet. If I really pull it, I can get it to go to 100. But most of the times it's only going to go to 99. All right. So here we got 100 and 124. If I flip this down, as you can see, that goes to 85. Stop it. And if I go down again, it goes down to 40, even though we're still at 100 right here. We're going to leave this one at 125%. We're going to leave this one at 85%. But what we're going to do, here we go. Let's go to my typical setting, just to start out, is 35% on the Expo. Doesn't matter what my dual rate is, I put 35% Expo in it, most cases. Unless I've set up the aircraft before, it's going to be 35%. As you can see, it kind of gave me a little bit of a curve to my line. It's flatter here, whereas side to side is going to be your stick movement, and then up and down is going to be your servo movement or your throttle movement or your ESC or whatever you happen to be working with. So up and down is your servo, side to side is going to be your stick. So now we got 35% on medium rate, and on high rate, we're going to put in 55%. That's too far. So what I'm going to do now, and this is the part that, yeah, this is going to be a pain. I'm going to try to move this to 25% stick movement. All right, so right there is 25% stick. I am at 11%, 12% on the servo movement on high rates. Now, if I flip it down into medium rate, it didn't move. It didn't move at all. Nothing. But if I go full stick throw, oh, sorry, it's got a lot of movement right there. But if I go 25%, let's go to 30% and see what it does there. All right, there's high rate, 30%, nothing. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a look right here. That little bar right there is where my stick's at. Notice the graph is moving, but the center stick, where I'm holding this stick at, isn't moving. If I go to, say, 60% on the stick throw, now we're going to get some movement. So this is what Randy was talking about just a little bit ago, where he was saying that low rates are better for finer control. And this is where you can use Expo to get the same thing. All right, high rates, we just move the stick around. We can get that fine control out of our high rates, but we still have our full deflections. But we can still tame it down to where we don't have to flip it down into low rates to get what you're seeing there. And then we get medium rates, and again, that's full deflection. Medium rate, that's low rate, but we still have a finer control around the center point. And if we go to 100%, look at what that graph's doing. Now, we're getting barely, I mean, I can sit here and stick bang the center of this, and it's just barely moving. But, so if I move this real slow, and if I move my fat fingers, you guys can actually see the graph and what it's doing, kind of. Stop it. Hey, turn on. You can see it starts ramping up exponentially. See where it comes from? Seems to help the twitchiness. That is another thing it helps, especially if you're a thumb flyer. You can get those thumb shakes. Everybody's had them. Come on, you guys just own up to it. Everybody has had the dreaded thumb shake. If you pinch, it's not that bad, but if you have that thumb shake, it's not as bad. But even on low rates, you can see that same thumb shake, it kind of tames it down a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm still on like 97% Expo. Turn that back down to 55. All right, so we now have 55% dual rate with, or 125% dual rate with 55% Expo, and I'll just do this again for those that just came in. I've got this at 30% stick movement, and if I move down 125%, if I move down to our medium rate, which is 85% with 35 Expo, as you can see, the stick doesn't move. That's me moving the actual stick. Because it is wicked hard to hold this thing at exactly 30%. That's what dual rates are, or Expo is. It tames down the center. I always tell everybody to go positive Expo, never negative on this particular radio. So what if you went into the negative on a DX9? What if you went into the negative on Expo? Because everybody thinks negative slows it down, stuff like that. Okay, hang on. Check this out. We're going to go to negative 50%. Let's go negative 55 because we had positive 55 in here before. Negative 55, look what our curve just did. It's almost straight up and down right here in the middle. So what is that going to do to our throws? It is going to make them so twitchy that you can't fly your helicopter, airplane. If you do this on the steering of like a car or a truck, it's going to make it almost undrivable. And I am just, let's see. Let's go back here. I'm at 20% Expo on that one. So if we go to 20% right there, and that's 21, and I flip it into high rate, you can see just, I mean, it makes it so sensitive. However, on the far boundaries of the throws, way out here, it's actually going to slow it down. It's not going to speed it up there. And in my particular case, I can't do this because that is just way too twitchy. So guys, never, ever, 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 ever on a Spektrum do negative Expo. It's going to make it just so twitchy. And if I go to medium range, which has positive Expo, tames it down so much. But out here at the end, it's actually going to speed it up.